When the storm finally subsided, Diver emerged from his shelter to assess the damage. The beach was littered with debris, and his shelter had taken a beating, but it was still standing. The island too had weathered the storm, though some of the trees had been uprooted and the stream he relied on had been clogged with fallen branches. Instead of feeling defeated by the destruction, Diver saw it as an opportunity. He had survived the storm, and now he would rebuild. He spent the next few days repairing his shelter, clearing the debris from the stream, and gathering whatever materials the storm had washed ashore. As he worked, he realized how far he had come. The man who had once felt helpless in the face of life's challenges now faced them head-on with faith and determination. One night, as Diver sat by his fire, he heard a noise that made him freeze. It was faint but unmistakable, the sound of footsteps crunching in the sand. His heart raced. He hadn't seen or heard another person since the day he arrived on the island. Was it possible someone else had been stranded here? He grabbed a stick from the fire, holding it like a makeshift torch, and cautiously approached the source of the sound. As he neared the edge of the trees, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a man, disheveled and weary-looking, but very much alive. The stranger's eyes widened when he saw Diver, clearly just as surprised to find someone else on the island. They stood there for a moment, staring at each other in shock before the stranger finally spoke, his voice hoarse from lack of use. "Help, please." Diver quickly led the stranger to his shelter, offering him food and water. The man, whose name was Marco, had been shipwrecked during the storm and washed ashore on the other side of the island. Like Diver, he had been struggling to survive, unaware that anyone else was on the island. Marco's arrival was a shock, but also a strange comfort. After months of solitude, Diver wasn't sure how to feel about having another person around. Over the next few days, Marco regained his strength and began sharing his story. He had been a sailor on a cargo ship, but when the storm hit, their vessel had been torn apart by the waves. He had clung to a piece of debris and floated to shore, barely surviving the ordeal. Diver listened intently, recognizing the fear and desperation in Marco's voice. It was the same fear he had once felt, but now he had something Marco didn't: faith.